Mondays are a lot better when you win. Of course, it's kind of obvious, but there's a lot of football left to go. It doesn't matter whether you win or you lose. You evaluate the video and you move on from there. So we're excited about that. A lot of good things happened yesterday. I've come in here and talked a lot about we're close. We're going to be a good football team. We just need to finish. And yesterday we finished. Needed to have a drive to get points on the board, and we did it in a way that was fitting for who we want to be as a football team. Offensive line needs to block and get a ball to our tailback and let him do his thing. That run was one of the better runs we're going to see this year, and that's what he's capable of doing. It's good to be undefeated in our division also. So there's some positives that we have that we can build upon. But then when you get into the details, there's a lot of room for improvement. And it's coming at the right time. 5 games into the season, just finishing up the first quarter of our season as we see it. You have some bumps and bruises. And this week we get a chance to kind of evaluate what we've done up until this moment. So I'm excited about that. Excited to move on to the to the Raiders to watch that game tonight. I'm excited to be in Houston. I know our Astros with Dusty Baker leading them. I know we're going to do well against the Mariners also. So excited about a lot of things. I'll take your question.
Within that game and also in recent weeks, what have you seen from Nico Collins and things he's been doing?
Nico Collins is a big target. He can catch the ball. He can jump. Starting from the LA preseason game, we got a chance to see that, and we tried to get him more and more involved each week. And he's a tough matchup, against defensive backs. So we need to continue to do that.
What was the post-game travel, getting into Monday like after a win? How'd you treat that? How'd you approach that with the players?
With the players, as far as did we change up our routine? Or are you asking the same routine we've been doing? Same routine we've been doing, except for we're doing it on a win. Monday is our players' day off, so they'll be off today except for injured guys. Be in tomorrow, studying the video and moving from there. The plane is a lot more fun being on the plane. Being in the locker room yesterday, I had to brush up. It had been a few minutes there since we'd been through or been in a winning locker room, but that was a lot of fun.
Coach, reevaluating the film, can you just talk about how good your rookies played yesterday?
It seemed like we're saying this each week. They're getting better. They're talented. They love playing offensive side of the football. In order for Damon Pierce to run like that, Kenyon Green needs to do something pretty good up front, which he continues to do. In order for Damon to run like that, Troy Harrison has to do some pretty good things. He continues to do that. In order for us to hold them to 6 points, a team that had been averaging, I think, 26 or so. Jalen Petrie needed to do some good things. Derek Stingley needed to do some good things. It's good seeing him getting his first interception as a professional athlete. So, yes, our young players are getting better weekly, and they haven't reached their potential yet.
Coach, you just finished talking about how every single week you guys try to get Nico Collins more involved in the offense. After 5 games, what are some of the intangibles that you would see that you can actually focus on a little bit more as the season goes along to get Collins those targets that you guys would like to see?
I don't know if there's anything else. Can't start giving away the game plan and all that, but I think first just acknowledgement that Nico needs to be more involved. When you had an opportunity to go through 5 games, you kind of see everybody's kind of showing you who they are, and you have to go with it. Some you really like what you're seeing, and maybe others you don't like as much. Some need to get more reps, some need to get less reps. That's how we're looking at it.
You mentioned Jalen Petrie, Derek Stingley. What did you make of the coverage yesterday? A lot of deflected passes, a couple of interceptions.
I like the way the defense competed as a whole. Front seven, but we wouldn't. I'm talking about the Jaguars. I mean, they run the football, but you would say more that they're a passing team, so the pass coverage needs to be at its best. And thought the guys competed. We had a couple plays we need to clean up, but we played a lot of zone. With 7 set of eyes on the quarterback, and you make them earn it the hard way. And ultimately, in the end, you need to come through. You need to come through on third downs. You need to come through on four. We had three fourth down situations yesterday. And then in the red zone, you need to play your best ball down there, and the coverage was a big part of that.
When you guys evaluated Stingley, was zone coverage one of the areas you felt like he needed to develop in, and you feel like this is great on-the-job training this year? I mean, and if you don't mind, can you expand on what you saw from him on that interception in the end zone?
First, just Derek Stingley's talent. I know coming through the draft, well, he's a man cover guy. What does that mean, he's a man cover guy? He can only do that? No, what we saw a complete I saw a guy that could become a complete cornerback, being able to play man, of course, but to be able to play zone. You get more interceptions when you have your eyes on the ball playing zone coverage. We also saw him as a player that would tackle. We don't bring anybody in unless they want to tackle. They want to be physical. And when you start playing roll-up corners, cover two or whatever, they need to be able to be physical on the receivers. And eventually, offenses are making corners tackle. You can make a corner tackle. I saw Derek doing all of those things. So that's what we saw. And each week we'll call on him. And I know we're talking about Derek, but Steve Nelson has been playing good football too. This is what we will ask our guys to do. And the rest of your question was, again, then?
On the interception, it looked like Stingley throwing in zone, looked like he turned around at that point to find the receiver coming in his area and then play the quarterback's eyes on the pitch. Is that how you saw it?
So I saw it, zone coverage. With zone coverage, man coverage. Guys looking at their man, don't see the ball until the last second a lot of time. Zone coverage, feeling the receivers in you, but eyes on the quarterback. Quarterback normally tell you where the ball's going. So great play by Derek of adjusting on the run to a few different things that he got on that play.
You mentioned that you rotated the defense a little more because of the Heat linebackers too. Was any of that performance-based as well, and do you think you'll do that more in other games even whenever the weather's fine?
Well, that's what we did yesterday. And first off, if we don't think a player can't perform at a certain level, we won't let them play. We won't put them on the field. We felt comfortable about playing some of our other linebackers. We haven't been completely pleased with how we played at the linebacker position. And when that happens, guys get an opportunity to play. But yesterday it was warm out there, and we felt like we needed to play more guys to keep guys fresh. As you're looking for ways to improve and finish, you look, maybe playing guys a little less early in the game. So it worked out well. It was good to get. I think some of our backup linebackers got double-digit reps, which helped everybody.
Can you talk about how you guys performed? Can you talk about a little more about the red zone? I mean, the zone may have given up yards, but when it mattered, your defense was able to make the key plays and just the improvement there.
We want to get to a point where we're giving up a lot less total yards than we are. But eventually it's about, you move down, and once there's a line of can't cross it, red zone. You have to make plays down there. And we change it up. We play man, we play zone, we play all the different coverages down there. But once you get down there, it's a lot harder for offenses, especially to pass the football. Those windows are a lot smaller, the area that you're defending. And, and just not this game, we played pretty good red zone defense this year is one of the things we've been, pretty good at.
Lovie, all sides of the football and special teams, does that feel like kind of a formula? Every game is different. But
You see how real quick guys just jump in. I was getting ready to go to for the record. All right. Okay, Aaron, he, is in pretty quick. Yes, Aaron.
Does that feel like something of a formula? Because every football game is different, but the way you all played in all three phases, does that feel like that's kind of the way you guys play games?
Well, after 5 games, I think you see how we would like to win football games. Offensively, we talked about what we want to be, who we want to be, what we want to look like. Run base, we want to be able to run the football. What allowed us to win in the end, being able to run the football. Special team-wise, our special teams have been outstanding throughout. Kaimi really kicking yesterday. We have an excellent punter. But those 2 field goals that he made, 7 points we got from him were big. And defensively, we had a couple takeaways. And as we see it in our calculation a little bit, if you stop them on, what's the turnover? When you get a turnover, that means the other team gets the ball, right? So we look at 4th downs the same way, is my point, a little bit. So there were 5 of those situations. Yeah, this is how we would like to play football.
Lovie Pierce is 4th in the league in rushing right now. How would you assess how he's stacking up in that Rookie of the Year race?
Rookie, it's a little early. I did on those kind of things. But he's a rookie, and he's playing well. And I haven't seen all the rookies out there. I just know that our rookie, we've loved from the start. It's not a bandwagon type thing. We believed in this guy and what he can do. He's letting other people kind of see it a little bit. But, and again, for us to be talking that way, the offensive line, the guys that are blocking for him, they have to be doing their job. So I just know after a quarter, just think about it, after a quarter of football, we like where he is. So much more to go, but I like the way he's trending.
How many times have you watched that run where he broke 8, 9 tackles? Have you found yourself watching it a bunch?
We watched it a few times, and some of the other plays too, but how can you not, if you're a football fan, to just see just one word, finish, late in the game. Just keep in mind, I'm always excited too. We go to a lot of different places, and some places mean a little bit more to guys than others. Playing his college ball, 70 miles from there, seemed like most of his hometown was there, watching him play. So for him to perform that way, first time he comes back to his home state, is pretty neat.
We talked a lot about the defensive side of the ball. When you went back and you watched the film, can you talk about the work that Desmond King put in on yesterday?
It's good for you to mention Des King. We've talked about Rasheem Green up front. Derek Stingley, made some good plays yesterday too. But overall play, Des King is hard to beat it. He had an interception, big 3rd down stops, tackles. Dez is a smart football player that knows our defense. He's one of the guys that's been around here from start to finish. And it's a punt returner. He does an awful lot for our team behind the scenes. But yesterday, and it's about, as a defensive player, when you get in position, do you make the play? And the most important grade, our guys give a pursuit grade on where you run to the ball, technique grade. But when you're at the point of attack, what happens? Percentages, what happened? Des King was pretty good yesterday.
Lovie, do you mind speaking about your tackles? And as good as Tunsil has been throughout his career in pass pro, it seems like he's really took up the nastiness in the run game. And is he still developing at this stage? And what have you seen from him?
Well, I would like to think, I think all players would like to think that they're developing still. They're getting better. And I would definitely say that's the case with LT. I thought both of our tackles, but our offensive line did a good job, especially our offensive tackle. Of course, LT, Tonsil did a great job, but Titus did also. And for them going against a team. I mean, Jacksonville has a couple of scholarship players on the edge that can rush the pass and play hard. Their entire front was that way. So it was a big challenge for our guys, and starting with them. You know, LT has been around here longer than anyone, so he sets the pace on exactly who we want to be. And yeah, he can pass. He's a left tackle, he can pass, block, and all that, but there were physical plays, a lot of physical plays that we saw from him yesterday, like always.
Y'all made a go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, at week 5 in the season, going into the bye week, Davis Mills, helped lead that drive. What are you hoping to kind of continue to see from him now going into this bye week and the rest of the season?
And there's continued growth. Just look at his play yesterday. I mean, it was a tight game. You had 2 quarterbacks on the football field. One thing you have to do is protect the football. He did a good job of that. Made some timely throws. We're talking about the Nico Collins, Brandon Cooks, Jordan Aiken, some of the guys getting involved in the passing game. It's Davis making those throws. So I like what he's done. I like the direction he's heading, how he's trending, and excited about the second quarter of our season with Davis leading us. But what we want him to do is just continue to, to learn from things that's happening each week, and I know that's what he's going to do.
Y'all made some additions to the roster to improve over your tight end, wide receiver. I mean, obviously you're coaching the team. I'm curious, how much input and how do you kind of approach looking for guys with Nick behind the scenes to add? Is that you kind of like look at the film and say, oh, this guy might work? I mean, how do you describe that? Now,
once we get started right now, I'm not looking at a whole lot of video of players. That's Nick and our personnel department. Most of their focus is then, and then they bring guys to us that may fit into what we're doing. But as far as our roster, we're always trying to improve. Hopefully today there's somebody out there that we think will fit. That's always in motion behind the scenes. And if it gets to the point we're constantly working guys out. And of course when I say I'm not actually evaluating guys, but we're watching video. And when guys pop up that may be available, it comes up. But those discussions are just, daily throughout on ways that we can improve our ball club. And you look at the amount of moves that we have made, that's just not lip service.
So you take a look at your line. When you take a look at your linebackers, you talk about the rotation. After what you saw in the film, how much credit would you actually give Garrett Wallow for how he played, and also how much better do you think this linebacking core is going to be whenever Christian Harris gets an opportunity?
First off, to some of your questions that you've noticed, the guys that kind of the Des King question, of course Garrett Wallow. LT on some of those physical things that you're having to look into detail to see those things. But Garrett Wallow has been a good football player whenever he's played. Last year he started at the Jacksonville game, and he started the LA Chargers game, 2 of the ones that we won last year. And he started this game, and we get consistent play from him whenever he plays. So I thought he did an outstanding job yesterday with everything that we asked him to do. Student of the game, another guy that's always here working, and I like some of the youth that we have at that linebacker position.
Coach, you've been preaching about finishing since OTAs, the training camp, and that's not just for the game, but also during the plays. On that touchdown run by Damian Pierce, Charlie Heck was able to take his man and drive him into the ground until the play was finished. Is that what you mean by when you say you want players to finish every play? Yeah,
I think it's easy. Play starts. One side ball to snap, and the play ends when the official blows his whistle. And we want guys trying to dominate their man or trying to make a play, maximum effort until that whistle blows. And on that play, you can't assume to. You can't, I think he's down and stop. No, you have to keep that sound. Pavlov, that sound you hear, that's what tells you to stop. And again, you need some plays, though, to really demonstrate. Hey, guys, this is what we're talking about right here. That's a play that a coach's dream on that play right there, to show our guys exactly what we want to be, how long we want to go, all those things. Absolutely.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy your bye week.
But